All right, people, welcome to the coach's desk. And as you can see, I have company. Yeah, man. Big Bad Formula Sports. Yeah, man. The man that mix up the formula and let you have it. So we're here. We just want to have a little talk, people, about the whole defensive unit of the Reggae Boys. Um, we have 2 games in this window. We got 2 points. A situation where we could have gotten 6 points, but that's 4 points lost, and hence the reason we are about 7 points behind the fourth place team, which is Panama. But I mean, it's not impossible because been talking to the players them and them really believe and talk to Coach Whitmore off camera, man. Then I go on the camera, and him still believe too, you know. So we're gonna have a little discussion on that. So Formula, what's up, man?
Well, yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I mean, still, it genuinely hurt, man. Reggae Boys thing. I know, a nice plane. It's not a nice ride. It's not an enjoyable ride, honestly, man.
It
But
it
we hanging in there, man.
Yeah, and we know that we could have had that game, and the referee really. What you thought about the referee's decision?
The blind could see. The blind could see. It was just, I mean, I was watching ESPN FC and
Mm-hmm.
one of the panelists put it into like him find the exact words, right?
Mm-hmm.
Basically saying that if you're going to give a foul for that sort of a contact, then every corner kick, every set piece, every ball swung into the box, you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna have to blow the whistle.
Yeah, yeah,
Minimal contact. It was heartbreaking, man. It was a disgrace.
yeah, for real. But Formula, I watched the video again, and I watched it from the standpoint of the in goal camera. I saw that angle or that view, and trust me, the referee was out of position, and that would have allowed him to make that call. He was there standing and looking, but I think he was out of position. Reason being, he was behind Damian Lowe, so he wouldn't basically see what was happening. What I think propelled him to make that decision was the acting by the player, because he flung himself forward with his hands up like something was really happening, or he was fouled. I mean, that was a little contact. So I could not believe. And you rightly said the people that were talking said that, I mean, every corner kick you probably could have had something of the sort. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
before we get into the whole defensive thing that we want to look at, what are your thoughts on the game overall?
A much improved performance. Even though we didn't have as much possession as we would have liked, many people still have an issue with the fact that we can't crack the 40% barrier. Seems to be a barrier for us. But I think I like the fact that we seem to have got into our attacking third on with you know on a frequent basis, with some amount of regularity, far more, in my humble opinion, than we would have seen in previous games. So that was a plus. I liked how the team looked in offensive transition. There was it the speed of how the ball moved in offensive transition seemed to be a bit quicker, right? And we seem to have gotten supporting numbers in attack whenever we were getting forward, right? You saw some movement. The team didn't look as static as previously, in previous games as well. So there were some positives, also some negatives. Still can't understand why Haka starting. You know, Lamar Walker, do understand how this guy has only gotten about 10 minutes in the World Cup qualifying campaign so far, and then arguably the most important game of the campaign thus far. He's thrusted into the starting lineup and him never even get so much as 3 minutes in the last game. Me not understand. But still some selection issues. But I think that the team looked, it was an improved performance from the boys yesterday.
Yeah, man, definitely. And let's jump right into it. The whole defensive unit, the injection of Greg Leigh, Javain Brown got a start. What are your thoughts on those two wide men?
Well, we have been calling for Javian Brown for the longest.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have done videos asking what is the issue that the head coach has with this player. I mean, the blind can see. I mean, there's no way the head coach could not be could be watching his Vancouver games and watching the games with the other players, right? And keep on selecting these other players over Javian Brown. It has to be a case where the gaffer was not watching Javian Brown's games.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the
And
only thing I can think of,
and
coach.
and every time, like I said, we have been calling for Javian Brown because persons would have seen him played, and he's live. I tried to speak to him after the game, and trust me, he was beat because of the energy and the effort that the youngster placed in the game. So, he wanted it. He wanted to impress, and I think, barring any rollback, definitely he has earned his place in the starting team. I would say the same thing about Greg Leigh. Greg Leigh had an outstanding game as well. You know what I mean? But definitely, it was. I think it's a solid backline, even though that backline would have conceded. But Greg Leigh was not on at that time, and the defensive unit looked better. Even without Greg Leigh coming on, they looked more solid, but he added a little bit more, especially with the aerial duels that he would have won. What say you?
No, I agree. Greg Leigh was impressive both going forward and in defense, right? Taxi game right now under some pressure. If Greg Leigh is given the chance and he continues to put in performances like that, yesterday he did not go into that game yesterday, as I said on my channel, with the intention of trying to cement his spot in the team. He was going for Taxi's game. It was, yes, I agree. The entire back line, it seemed to have been, it's the first time the back line has played, but it seemed to have been a very cohesive unit. Like, you wouldn't believe that is the first time all these characters have been put together, right? It looks solid. I think one of the major things that would contribute to that is probably the attributes of the respective players probably coming together nicely, so to speak, if you understand what I
Yeah,
mean.
man, I do understand. And like I said, you see, based on what you're saying, then that simply tells me that, you know, chemistry possibly is overrated. But that would be another discussion.
Fair point, fair
Yeah.
point.
But when you look at the crosses coming in, because I did a video on the Reggae Boys, the crosses team.
That's his team.
But I had an interview with the video analyst, and he pointed out some stuff. Apparently they were working on it, and it begs me to ask, though, why did they wait for so long for that picture to be out and we calling for this thing? And I get to understand that these people are watching the show, so we have to just continue to do what we're doing, because it shows that the 12 man, which is the fans, and us as content creators, we are really doing a work that is going out there. Even if they don't take everything and they don't like everything that we say, they can fetch from the well and take whatever they want to aid the team, and it's a good look. But I mean, I like that defensive unit going forward. I definitely believe that it should be the modus operandi going forward. You know what I mean? So, in terms of one aspect of the defense, which is a midfield, because that is a serious part of the defense. I don't know if you had observed, but I think that Devon Speedy Williams would have had an quietly outstanding game for the team. What say you?
Agreed, 100%. You put it into The way you phrase it, that's exactly what took place. A quietly good game. His work rate in that game was phenomenal. And he had to because of who was playing beside him. He had to.
Exactly. He was
He
doing a
had
lot of
to.
work, a
A
whole lot
lot.
of work.
Yo, the man run like hell, man. And put
Yeah.
in a real serious, especially defensive shift, man. Trust me. Trust me.
Absolutely.
Can you imagine if they have some hell coach?
If Anthony Grant had started Formula, trust me, I believe it would have been a different, because you see, United States is a good team now. I was expecting this. They ran at us, but there was something different about the home atmosphere, the few fans that were there. I think it injected life. It's like you go before somebody and I try and impress them, and you do the right things at the right time to ensure that they are impressed. First impression. And that's what the boys did. But trust me, Speedy Williams, that you with the man. As I've heard Whitmore said it, he does the simple things. And
Exactly.
the man in a whole amp on ball. Control, pass, move into space.
Yeah, man. He is definitely the most improved reggae
And
boy.
I think arguably he could be one of the best midfielders that we have right now.
No,
It-
that's without question.
yeah,
That's without
yeah,
he is one of the first names on the team sheet, no
yeah.
doubt.
hmm
Coach, I think for some reason though, America just never recovered from the Antonio goal, From that hit the back of the net is like it break them spirits.
And I think we should have capitalized on that by pressing them and getting another goal just to close off the shift. But I mean, it's one of those things where I believe that we were um you know was a situation where we were undone by the whole decision making of the referee. But again, we still have ourselves to blame. That ball that came across the Bobby Reed, he should have found the back of the net easily. But again, in a situation like that, as it has happened to footballers. But after the game, we not see Bobby Reed. The
Mm.
man take it to heart. Nobody not see him.
But I know the first time Bobby Reed missed a sitter that cost us big time, In the Gold
hmm
Cup, he missed one as
hmm
well that cost
hmm
us big
Yep.
time.
Yep.
So you would understand.
Yeah. So and I believe that they would have been clinging on to hope, and this was the opportunity. And then the header came and it was disallowed for what reason? I don't know if I understand, but from the angle that I saw in the goal, I think the player acting and the position of the referee would have allowed. And some people don't like VAR, but this is where VAR came in. One other thing
Absolutely.
though, I think the players did not let through a lot of crosses, the defenders, and they, if even if they came through, they won those headers, and that's what I observed. I don't know if you saw the same thing there.
Yeah, man. Agreed. Agreed. That's what happens when you have fullbacks who are good in 1v1 situations and also good from a positioning standpoint. So I mean, yeah, spot on, spot on, spot on. I agree.
Yeah, man, and Greg Lee's whole physical attribute in terms of his leaping, he jumps very high, he wins those headers. I mean, the talent was just impressive on and I think he got his chance in front of the home crowd, and he did a stupendous job. So we hope that the Reggae Boys can really build on this. I see where passes were being done. I think was the best, even though still in the 40s. I think it was the best, the highest 40 grade would have gotten so far in a long while. So I mean, have you given up?
The only hope left is that we have Panama to play. If we didn't have Panama to play, it would be done for me. It is still kind of done, right? It is done. I think it is done. It is. It's unfortunate. I don't want to be negative, but me now gonna set myself up for now. Me I tell myself from now say it done. We can't. My heart can't take it, coach. Can't take it. Can't take it. I think it is done. Coach, everything all right with you?
Oh, the internet just look like the
Yeah,
internet.
yeah,
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 so
yeah. Mm,
um yeah, pretty much we're gonna close off the broadcast then because we don't want it to continue to, like this. I don't know what is happening. It just jump out.
yeah.
But I mean, it was good sitting here and having this discussion. Definitely. I think we can people they can look out for more stuff like this. And definitely you can go over to Formulas, the Formula Sports channel, and subscribe to his channel. He has some great videos over there. He has content. He does live. So don't be afraid, people, to go over there and support Formula. Many of you are familiar with him already, and if you're new around here, please go and check it out. There it is. It is on the screen in yellow and black. The Formula Sports. Any final words that you want to share, Formula, before we close out this before the internet act up again?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy that the boys still seem to be positive.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good sign. There is still belief. I might not have the belief, but it is good to see that the boys have the belief. Hopefully we can get good results going forward. Hopefully we can especially get 3 points against Panama going forward.
Yeah,
I
man.
think we can. Coaches need to step up.
Right. So, people, there you have it. Formulas insight. We spoke about the defensive upward mobility that would have seen in the game versus the United States, and it's a good look going forward. We hope they can maintain it. We hope that they can, put in some good shift in the remaining 6 games so that we can have possible 16, 17, 18, all 18 points. You know what I mean? So big up yourself, people. Thanks again for tuning in. And until next time in another video, peace out.